Hey, what is up everyone? Blades for here, and today for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're gonna be talking about one major post here that ended up coming up after the CN live stream, which happened about 2 days ago and somehow slipped underneath my radar. So I want to talk about that as well as some other takes that I feel like P5X needs to take in order to be even better of a game. So it's kind of a looking forward to certain things as well, but you guys get the gist of the video here. We're mainly trying to see exactly what they're going to be talking about today, as well as what I really want to see. So if you guys are interested in this video, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And also remember, we do have a giveaway happening tomorrow. So today is the last day that you guys are going to be able to enter it. So if you have not entered, be sure to go ahead and do so, because man, that giveaway is no small giveaway. So look forward to it very soon. But let's get straight into the video. Now, I'm not going to have any crazy special music or anything in the background. It's just going to have, like, of course, this music. And then, of course, whenever we're looking at like Twitter or something, you're not going to hear much. So one, we're going to swap over to Twitter right now here. So you guys are just going to hear blank immediately. And I got to say, I don't know how this went under my radar. I really don't know how this went at least underneath my radar here. And this is going to be, let me move this on over here. It's going to be the CN little live stream, or one of the things that the devs put out that was going to be an end of the year stream has been announced. Now, apparently this end of the year stream is going to cover like 4 major updates, Arc 4 finale, as well end of year rewards, and 4 major gameplay innovations. Now, this was something that just straight up went under my nose. This literally happened on the 14th, and somehow I didn't even see this on my goddamn timeline, which is kind of crazy. But I have a few talks about this, or a few things that I want to think about this here, especially when it does come down to P5X. P5X, as a lot of you guys know, I've been here since day one, and I have really enjoyed this game, including still to now, where I just come on, do everything I want to do here, and then I kind of get on off after I do everything I need to do. But one of the main things that I do have to say about P5X is it does have its problems. One of the few problems is actually keeping you entertained or keeping you into the game that way. And it's kind of something that we've already known. We knew this was going to happen because most gacha games, especially with their turn bases, they always have this same rotation loop after a while. You usually get the character, you do the content revolving the character, you kind of dip out. New story happens, you do the story content, you do the events, then you kind of dip out. And it's usually that rinse and repeat. P5X has been having this, and it hasn't really been too noticeable at the beginning. But then afterwards, as you go on, it definitely has become very noticeable, where we get into this huge loop that's been a problem. So they ended up announcing this, and it states that, hey, we're going to have several different, what's it called, game-changing things here that you guys are going to want to pay attention to, including the finale. Well, first of all, Arc 4 finale. They've been already doing that absolutely amazing. So seeing that we're going to get that before the end of the year is going to be freaking awesome. I'm great, at least I'm glad to see that's going to happen, because it has revealed some insane things. Now, I'm not going to go into deep talk about it because, of course, any of my global folks who are maybe watching this video, I don't want to spoil people. So yeah, we're not going to go into deep talk, but I got to say, Arc 4 is a goddamn masterpiece. This thing was absolutely insane for them to do. So I can't wait till the wrap up to see what really happens. Now, as for the new 4, or at least the next 4 major updates, this one's kind of interesting because I want to know what they mean by the 4 major updates here, especially if we're doing this before the end of the year. That means it has to be something huge. Now, one of the few things that I feel like is going to end up happening, and a lot of people have also said this as kind of a what's it called, as a hunch or a theory, is that the CN and the TW and KR what's it called, CW blah 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 TWKR sides of things are actually going to kind of not merge to the service themselves, but their update times are going to be exactly the same. So that means, like, when a new banner comes out on CN, the new banner will come out on TW and KR as well. And I've heard this going around for a little bit, including like some of my friends such as Earphone and them have said it as well, that, hey, there's a theory out there that this could very well happen, where we're going to start getting the banner syncs. I hope this doesn't happen. I think I talked about it in my last video too. I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does happen, hey, it's still pretty interesting because that keeps everything fresh, and it also makes it so things are kind of interesting as well. So that's going to be interesting, but that's only 1 out of the 4 major updates. So Kind of interested to see what they're really going to do. One thing I want to do, or at least want them to actually do and take heed of, when it comes down to a major update, this is just something I personally want to see. Make it so mementos is somewhat randomized, right? Or we get what is it called, randomized palaces. Now I do understand that's a lot of work. I don't even know the ins and outs of this, but it's kind of like an idea to throw out there, right? Where every so often we get a mementos event, right? During this time, every day or like every so often, a couple days, right? We have different mobs in there. It doesn't have to be gimmick fights per se, but just like different little mobs that you actually fight. They're going to be hard battles to do, kind of how we have Astrolab, where they take us for a season, right? And we could do something like that with Mementos, where it's a season. They developed all these mobs, developed all these different gimmick fights, and you have to go through there and you can get stuff out of that area as well. I feel like something like that would be nice to add as a game mode change, or at least something that's going to be interesting, because right now, the pure game modes that we just don't really touch too much unless we really have to is like Mementos. We don't go into story because there's not really a need to go into story, and I need to use my stamina. I just noticed I capped out earlier. Ooh, that's bad. But what's it called? We don't really go into, like, of course, Mementos all too often unless we have the story updates. And the same can also be said like with our story stuff. We don't really revisit the old palaces. I would like it so like we can finally get like a harder mode to the old palaces. So instead of doing like a random palace, right, you can take the old palaces that we've completed, like Palace 1 and them, just make the mobs even harder and call it hard mode of like where we have the first palace, the hard mode of Koichi's palace. Boom, perfect. And it can do something crazy. You can get a lot of rewards out of there, gems out of there, and that'd be kind of cool to see. But we don't really have that right now inside of P5X yet, or we don't really have it at all, which is kind of a downside to a lot of things here. Now they did say in the year reward, I'm kind of interested to see what this is going to be, because I don't think last year we had anything too crazy. But this year they're saying a whole huge reward's going to be happening here, or at least an end of year reward's going to be happening. And I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to go. Now, recently this year, this game has been actually feeling a lot more like a finished game. Like 4.0 up has actually felt like a finished game. The story's been great. Content's been interesting. We've gotten, of course, the P3R cast back. It's been a lot of things that's been kind of interesting for the end of the year, at least for the year itself. So for them to end off the year with a decent reward, I'm expecting something crazy, because we had some crazy events that have given us some crazy things, such as like dupes for characters. We've had some stuff where out of nowhere on TW for the catch up, we had the catch up period where people were able to easily hit 80 and get a ton of characters and stuff. We've had a lot of cool rewards inside of TWKR and CN. So I would like to see something like that happen again if we're going to be talking about end of year rewards, which is going to be interesting. Now, the one that's a big one on everyone's mind is 4 major gameplay innovations. Now, this one I'm kind of stumped on. I don't really know. Well, stumped on, kind of stumped on, because I don't know exactly what they're going to do here. There isn't much that I could really say. I mean, we've had like a very interesting mechanic recently, which was with Fuka. But other than that, I haven't really thought about anything else. Like, what could we bring? What could be done? And it's kind of an interesting way to go about it, where we're going about 4 major gameplay innovations. But I think something like Fuka is kind of a great idea of it. Same as like the extra turn deal with Turbo, and then of course the extra turns with Anj. Those are all interesting gameplay mechanics. I wonder what they're gonna go about is like, let's say baton pass, right? Where we actually can have a baton pass and actually go back to that character's turn. That would be interesting. That would make it feel more like P5, and that would be great to actually have there to really go back into it. So that's one that could be a great innovation that they could use. I want to see another one, which is going to be the show times, right? You guys know the show times from P5R, right? That would be cool to have between every character, and they have their own specific little show times. That would be an interesting change, but it's kind of hard to implement something like that, especially in a gacha game like this. So I'm very interested to see what they're going to come up with this here, but I'm glad that they ended up bringing up a post like this, because I won't lie, P5X, as lovely as it is, will have its downsides and does have its downsides. So To see that they are still trying to reinforce on making this game even better is a huge deal for me. I don't know how this really just slipped through my nose, but you guys let me know down below what you think about this. What gameplay innovations do you think they're going to come up with, and what are the next 4 major updates that you think could possibly happen? But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and just jump on out of this. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.